We would like to welcome Professor Samuel Lingovitz, Associate Professor of Linguistics from Columbia University, New York. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it very much to having been invited to this very important linguistic conference up here in Wisconsin. I drove all the way from New York to join this conference, and my wife Ruthie warned me, Sam, don't go, don't do it. They're going to destroy you anyway. Just stay here with me. We have a nice weekend. And anyway, I said no. Once I say, you know, I will join the conference. I will join the conference, and even if I'm absolutely aware that my statement here is will be very controversial, and but you know, as I'm very concerned with the discussion about the use of language in American teenagers, and it's one of my topics since years, one of my favorite topics since years. I had to make some comments on it in a recent essay, which was published in the Northwestern Linguistic Gazette. Now, I had very, you know, furious, very angry reactions to this article, but I want to make this point again, which I made in the article already, and that brought me here to Wisconsin, because I know a lot of people don't agree with what I'm saying, and disagree completely, to be fair and honest. But I want to make this one, I would say, point to the use of language in American teenagers, which seems to be urgent and necessary. Because what is it that American teenagers are being accused of? Let's face it. It is the ever same repeating, self-repeating, you know, bird-like, papageno-like repeating of the same tune about the American teenager. The American teenager is destroying language. The American teenager is speaking on a level of me, Tarzan, you, Jane, you know. The American teenager, as some German colleague said, you know, is also part of the globally impoverishment of use of language and so forth. And I just I totally oppose this theory or this assessment of the situation, because I think we are missing a point here. We're just not getting to the core, to what really matters, and what really matters in any language use. In any language use is, of course, a motivational basis, and the motivational basis in the use of language is people strive. They strive to express themselves like they want to express themselves, and I don't see any lack of that, you know, of that striving for the right expression in American teenagers. I put it bluntly. This is what I want to talk about. This is my point here. On the contrary, I think if you look at the American teenager, and that's the point, right? How is he talking, or she talking? How are they talking, American teenagers? Now, just we all know that. You all know that. You know, we follow discussions maybe in the schoolyard, maybe somewhere in the street or wherever. it doesn't matter really, but we listen to how they talk with each other, and very often we hear the following, like let's say a 17-year-old girl wants to express herself, and she's really looking for the right words, and she says, oh my God, it's like last weekend I was with Mom, and it was like, wow, it was her birthday. I was like, it was really kind of really, I was really, oh my God. And that's about, you know, you would all agree that's how a lot of teenagers speak and talk, and my point here is, and this is a very modest point I'm making. I'm very, you know, I want to go to the bottom of things here. I think, and I know 80% of you will hate me for saying this, but I think that we should all appreciate the American teenager's yearning to find the right metaphor, to find the accurate metaphor, or maybe even the one and only metaphor. We should all appreciate that and not just deny, you know, that the American teenager is able to express himself, and accuse him of impoverishing our language and so forth, and the use of our language, and accuse him of an impoverished vocabulary, as you know, we all did, and you. And in the end, it comes to, for me, the conclusion is, let's rehabilitate the American teenager for their willingness, for their strive, for their inner yearn to find the metaphor. Is there anything higher in our civilization? And we're talking about linguistics, language, use of language here, of course, it's our subject, we are all linguists. But is there anything that we could appreciate more, that we could be more proud of than people who are trying to find the right metaphors to illustrate what they try to say or express, to express what they want to say? Finding in a metaphor a right image, or a metonymy or a metaphor. This is what makes the American teenager and its use of language rich. This is the inner strength of American teenagers, and not only American teenagers, other teenagers around the world as well. They are looking, they're striving to find the right metaphor. They're striving to find the metaphor to communicate better with other people, to be understood better by other people. And okay, they fail. It's only very rare that they come up with a usable or an acceptable metaphor. But my point here, and I want to finish here because I only have 5 minutes anyway, because I'm an outcast in this conference, and I know that I have no illusions. All illusions are gone. I'm totally aware of where I'm standing and what I'm fighting for, and I try to make this point that language is not only a big vocabulary, it consists of other things. It consists also of a motivational basis, and the motivational basis to express themselves in a good way, in a way that others can understand, can follow their feelings, their thoughts, everything they'd like to express. This motivation I see in American teenagers, and this is what made me drive these hundreds of miles from New York up here to Wisconsin to make a tribute to the use of language of the American teenager. And I know I have to flee now and protect myself and shut the door somewhere and lock the door somewhere in my hotel room. But I came here. I wanted to make the statement that I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed, and maybe at some point I will repeat the statement even. It will not be published again, of course not, but I'm still associate professor at Columbia University, and I am honored professor at Columbia University. I have at least 3 people who follow my theory and my convictions, and that's what counts for me. It's enough for my narcissism. And I make this point. I made this point. I did it, and my wife can be proud of me, and I'm probably even going to be killed by some contrarians and people who do not agree with me at all. And I'm again thankful for the invitation, and I hope we'll have maybe if God will allow us to do so, we will have quite the discussion tonight, and I hope to see at least some of you there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.